just going to start with the heart of it. So like when Mr. Brown is able to just connect with our staff, and our staff is excited about seeing Mr. Brown and seeing him at the assembly interacting with our students, you know you hit gold. Mr. Brown met with our staff at our first staff meeting, getting back into school, and it just set like this good feel for the beginning of the year. Like they were excited about the message that he was going to bring to our campus, and a message that's going to support our continuous conversations through the year. Like choose well. It's simple, but it has such an impact. Mr. Brown began the assembly. It's very clear expectations and procedures. It's exactly great teaching, right? Like when our teachers go to trainings, it's all about clear expectations, clear yeses, clear nos, and that is all established. The foundation is set. Therefore, creating this stage for, now here's the message. And the students know that, Mr. Brown knows how to control a crowd, right? And
in a fun way.
It's not like this is how it is. But then they're able to receive the message. It's a nice balance.
Being that I do so much discipline on campus, I had a kid that was suspended today. I brought him to the assembly. I wanted him to be there, sit in the back and take all that message in. We had a really difficult meeting right before with a student. I wanted him there to be able to hear that message. And, following up with them later, I said, what is the message? And they could tell me what the message was. And I think when you put kids in front of a speaker and they know the message at the end, that's really the heart of it. Right. But they're excited about it. So.
Oh my goodness, like no joke, like yes. Mr. Brown,
where's
Mr. Brown? Or hey, Mr. Brown. And that was a piece that like our whole team felt. Like it was such a genuine feel from our kids. And we've had other assemblies here at Palermo. We're not new to assemblies, but there's never been such an energy before or wanting to connect.
Or they never felt connected. I think by sharing those personal experiences and stories makes the kids interested and engaged in the story of it. So it's like, it's real to them.
When somebody can bring a message that really hits them and they can connect to, now they're in. We got the complete privilege of being able to be part of the small groups. And I would say Mr. Brown had two very polar opposite groups. One group were our ambassadors, our student ambassadors, which were our chosen students based on their leadership qualities and their want to do service for our school, right? Very leadership motivated. And then the second small group pullout was for our students that have been identified as being at risk. Two very unlike groups. However, Mr. Brown was able to tailor a message that really resonated with each group, sharing with our staff. Sure, this group of like about 13 students may have lack of a GPA in common, but not many of these students would all be in the same room or choose to eat lunch together. And they're in this room together with Mr. Brown, and they're playing this game, and like they're encouraging one another. And conversations are happening between two students that normally would not happen. Like they're actually encouraging each other. And it was such a powerful moment to see.
Bringing Mr. Brown to our campus is very important because we want kids to hear that message from someone that's not us. They hear it from us all the time, but a lot of times when students hear it from somebody on the outside like Mr. Brown, it kind of resonates more. And we want them to constantly have messages of making better choices, to choose well, to think about things before they do them, because they're going to make mistakes. And then understanding why they made the mistake and correcting it and not doing it again. So we've been coming down from these years of COVID and our kids lacking different lessons in their developmental periods of that. And so now we're having to rebuild that to get them back to an area of growth over time, of development, of making good choices.
And I think too, like having Mr. Brown come on our campus, as we stated earlier, was that he not just only connects with our students, he connects with our staff.
Yes.
And a message is only as impactful as it is able to be carried on. Right? And so sometimes you have an assembly come to your school, and it's nice for maybe 12 hours,
and then
it dwindles out. But the fact that Mr. Brown impacts our students, impacts our staff, like, we know that message is going to carry on in other SEL lessons or throughout different components, not just for the remainder of this week, but throughout the school year as well. I had the opportunity to meet Mr. Brown at the end of last year at another school. And like the last one's like, this is going to be really good. But you still don't know until you see him live, right? And so, like, one of those things is like, so when you're trying to pick like your cost target, we were able to use our SEL focal grant money and have that support from the BCOE. So I was like, let's just, that's going to be our focus for that. And so, which is great, because then we were able to have a couple assemblies, a family night as well, which also means that he is also going to has support us now with 2 staff meetings. And then we also purchased T-shirts for our students and for our staff as well to continue this message. And so, like, when you're looking at if I'm rewinding and looking back, I'm thinking, how can I find funding for next year already? And that's not necessarily mean that we'll get the same amount for our focal grant, but I'm already in my administrator brain going, this is really impactful. This is a message I want to continue on our site to support our team, as well as our students, as well as our family and community, because you've seen it now. And once you've seen it and you feel it, you know the importance of it. And that's how our funding should be used, for something positive, to create that culture that supports our students, staff, and families and communities.